everyone, it's Kim. Welcome to my channel. Today is going to be a meal prep, but it's going to be kind of a different meal prep. I made a few of my favorites, and I hope that for some of you that they're your favorites too. So I wasn't planning on doing a meal prep video today, but when I started cooking I thought, well, maybe I should just start filming just in case, because sometimes I go off on a tangent and then I think later that maybe I should have filmed it because maybe somebody would have enjoyed it. So I went ahead, started filming. It got a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. Again, it is a lot of my tried and true favorites. I already have some of those videos done. I'll go ahead and link that below, the links to the ones that I referred to. Again, I almost didn't post today's video because I thought, I don't know, a lot of the things were the same. I did make a couple of variations on some of my things. I went ahead and made a couple of more things off camera. I will put pictures of those at the end of the video just so you see what I made. For instance, my buffalo chicken dip I made because I needed just a little snack, something just a little go-to. So I went ahead and whipped up a batch of that just so that I would have that available, as I already had carrots and celery in the fridge. So I hope you like today's video. Again, it's not, I don't know, you tell me what you think. With that said, here we go. Okay, quickly we're going to go ahead and throw some turkey into our pan. What you're seeing in front of you is just 2 skillets with some water in each. So the first skillet, I'm going to throw some turkey sausage together. And the second skillet, I'm just going to go ahead and mix up some ground turkey. Not exactly sure what I'm going to use that for yet. I may just go ahead and make maybe some turkey tacos. So that should be pretty simple. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw both of those in each pan and start to brown those up. Now, if you're interested in my turkey sausage recipe, I do have that already filmed, and I'll link it below. I'll just go ahead and link that video below so that you can get to that. So I'm not going to go into huge details. I'm going to throw a bunch of spices in it and just go ahead and cook it. Now, you can make these into patties, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and just crumble this so I can throw it into a breakfast casserole in a few minutes. So you go ahead and get these started, and then we'll see what else goes on. I'm sure it's not going to be a full meal prep video today because I think it's just going to be hit and miss, but I thought I should just go ahead and jump on here and film just in case. Okay, so now I'm going to start putting together our breakfast casserole. So I'm going to chop an onion real quick. And I already have some diced peppers that I had from the freezer, so I'm just going to use those today. But I am going to go ahead and saute up my onion and the peppers so that I have those ready to go, and I don't have to worry about them cooking in the dish. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that going. I'm also going to throw a little twist in this. You've seen earlier that I did my sausage. So I'm going to throw my sausage in here, but I'm also going to throw in some shredded potatoes. So I'll talk about those in a second. I'm going to go ahead and get this onion chopped up. I'm not going to bore you, and then I will let you know what I'm doing with the next step. I'll link the breakfast casserole below as well, but it's just going to have a little different variation on it today, but pretty much the same recipe, just a couple of little changes. Okay, so I have purchased these shredded hash brown potatoes, and if you haven't used those before, they are 2 smart points for 1.5 cups. So my thought was that I would layer 1.5 cups of this in the bottom of my pan. I would pour in my peppers and my onions. I would layer in my sausage, throw in some fat-free shredded cheese, and then put my eggs on top. So I'm thinking this is going to taste pretty darn good, and it's going to go perfect on my husband's breakfast sandwiches, and it's also going to be really good for me to take as an alternative to my overnight oats. So stay tuned and we'll start putting this together. Okay, so what I've done is I went ahead and cracked 10 eggs. I added some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and oregano. I really didn't measure, I just threw it in till it looked okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab these and do a quick little stir. And I'll probably cut this part out because I know it gets really loud. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to put in some cooking spray. Because I don't know about you, but I hate cleanup when I forget to do this part. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it into my pan. And if you notice my creepy doll, we are in full Halloween swing in our household. So I think I finished decorating today and I'm super excited because I really like Halloween. So I went ahead and sauteed the vegetables. And I'm just gonna throw those in first. And I think the reason why I'm gonna do this is because I'm gonna layer the frozen potatoes on top, so that it cools these off before I pour the eggs in. I was gonna do it in I was gonna put the potatoes in first, but I decided I'd put these in first to give these an opportunity to cool off before I start layering my other ingredients in. So I have the shredded hash brown potatoes. Again, 1.5 cups of those is 2 Smart Points. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. And I'm not exactly sure how many Smart Points this is going to be yet, because of the fact that I don't know. I'll add it as I go, and I'll put it in. Some of these have frozen chunks. I'll put the total amount in the comments as to how many points it turns out to be. I'm thinking this is going to make 8 servings. So far we have 2 Smart Points total in here. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add in the cheese. And I'm gonna use 3/4 cup of the cheese. And that was the same measuring cup I was using for the potatoes. All right, that looks good. Now I know 1/4 cup is 0 Smart Points. I'm not exactly sure how many points 3/4 cup is, but again, I'll do the calculations when I'm done. All right, so we've got that in there. Next up is going to be the sausage. And again, this is just my pan of sausage that I was showing you earlier that I started out with. So I think I'm gonna add, I don't know, maybe half this pan in here. Sorry, no, this is a really bad angle. So yeah, looking like about 1/2 of the pan works really well. All right. Just gonna set this aside. See if I can get you in a little closer. How's that? All right, so we have our sausage in there, and again, that sausage is 0 Smart Points, so you really can't go wrong there. It's nice to have a little something different in your breakfast casserole. And again, I'm super excited about putting the potatoes in here today. All right, so again, I have 10 eggs, so I'm gonna go ahead and start pouring those in next. And I was just guessing at the amount of eggs. I used 10 the last time I made this, but I think I have more mixture, more filling in this one, so I'm hoping that it's still gonna be okay. All right, so that's in there. Just gonna go ahead and smooth that out, tuck everything in. And since I already put the spices into my eggs, I'm not gonna add anything else in here. All right, that looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and get this in the oven. I do have the oven preheated at 350 degrees, and I think the last time I made this, it was about 30 minutes. But again, refer to the other video. I'll link it in the comments. as to cooking times, the instructions, the amounts, and such. So again, I'm going to get this in the oven and I'll see what I'm going to do next. Okay, so I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm meal prepping, I start to get hungry and I really don't have time to take a break because I really need to power through. So I thought what I would do is whip up a quick shake so that I could drink that while I finish my meal prep. So what you see in front of you, you have the PB Fit, you have some Quest protein powder in the flavor vanilla milkshake. You have some Nestle cocoa powder and some unsweetened vanilla almond milk. So we'll throw this together real quick and I'll show you how I do it. So I have my NutriBullet here. Whatever type of blender you have should work for this. I went ahead and threw some ice in here just to kind of get us started. I have some vanilla almond milk. I measured out 4 ounces of that, so I'm just going to go ahead and pour that in. I have 4 ounces of water. We have the PB Fit, so I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of that. And up to 2 tablespoons is 1 Smart Point. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw in 1 of those. We're going to throw in 1 teaspoon of the cocoa powder. I had a teaspoon out here. I have no idea what I did with it. So I have a half a teaspoon here, so we're just going to throw 2 of these in. Okay, so we have that in. Next thing we're going to do is throw in 1 scoop of the Quest protein powder. So far we have, with the protein powder, 2 total Smart Points in this cup. All right, so we've got that in there. We're going to go ahead and blend this up. And then I will have a nice little protein shake to power me through. So I'm not going to film, just going to give this a little shake real quick. I'm not going to film the mixing of this because it does get super loud. Okay, now if you like yours thicker, just go ahead and add more ice cubes to it. If you like it thinner, then just kind of play with it. That's what I had to do. I had to play with it until I got to the proper consistency. Just trying to look for a fun cup to throw this in, but most of my cups are plastic or non-see-through. Let's see. How about a wine glass? That'd be fun, right? Got some little nice ice chunks in there, so I'm just going to set the rest of this aside and I'll pour that in once I'm finished this. So here you go. Cheers! Okay, I don't know if you noticed in my last clip, but I went ahead and turned my doll around because that might be freaking some of you out. So we're just going to leave her turned around for now and we'll save her for a little bit closer to Halloween. Alright, so next up, I'm just going to go ahead and make my husband's sandwiches. You've seen me do this time and time again. I'm not going to film the whole thing. I might just kind of talk to you about what I'm doing in the beginning, and then I will come back and just show you the final product. Now what I also do is I also pull my bowls out just to kind of save me time so that I don't have to be searching for those. So I try to gather everything and get everything out so that it's just quicker. So I've got enough stuff here for 4 sandwiches. I do this for him every week. It works out really, really well. And the sandwiches do not get soggy at all, so he seems to like it. Again, I don't know how you can take sandwiches every day, but as long as he's okay with it, I'll just keep on making it until he asks me to change it. So I have some Miracle Whip Light here. I'm just throwing that on his sandwich. I'm going to throw in some turkey, some cheese. I have some turkey there, and then I'm not sure I can make all 4 sandwiches out of it, so I went ahead and grabbed some of the other turkey that I had used yesterday, day before yesterday. Got my days mixed up now. So I'm going to go ahead and throw these together, and I'll come back at you and I'll give you a snapshot of the final product. Okay, sandwiches are done. You can see that I went ahead and put chips in his bowl for him too. So his lunches will be completely done. All he has to do is grab them and he's ready to go. So I'll pop the lids on these, get these in the fridge, and we will see what's up next. I know I have to make something for my lunch. I just haven't decided what I want to have next week yet. So, decisions. Doesn't that look delicious? All right, we just pulled this out of the oven. So I'm going to let that cool off, and then I will cut it into 8 equal pieces. And from my notes, we have 1 point of cheese, 2 points of potatoes for 8 servings. So this technically could be 0 smart points. How amazing is that? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and throw together my lunches. And I don't know about you, but when I am meal prepping, I try to always go through my fridge to see what's in there. And I found some goodies that I'm gonna go ahead and use up. So I'm gonna first of all make my old standby, some bean burritos. So I'm sure you've seen me make these before a few times, but there's also, again, it's a standby. I've got a video on my channel. I know I sound like a broken record today, don't I? Make sure I have the camera angle right. So I've got some refried beans here that I made in my Instant Pot. So I'm just gonna throw some on each of these Olay Extreme Wellness Wraps. So I'm just gonna spread that out there. And these beans are 0 smart points. I'm just gonna throw them on there till they look good. So I figure I'll have bean burritos one day. And I don't know about you, but I could eat Mexican food every single day. I mean, I really could. I love Mexican food. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw in 1/4 cup of cheese between the two of them, because as you know, 1/4 cup, 0 smart points. So I'm gonna throw half on that one and the other half on this one. So we've got those there. So far we have 2 smart points sitting here. I have some Ortega taco sauce. I'll try to get that in here. There you go. So as long as you don't use 2 complete tablespoons, I don't know why these little things get on the edge of your jar. As long as you don't use 2 complete tablespoons, it's 1 smart point. So I'm just gonna do just shy of a tablespoon on this one. And then I'm gonna do the same thing to the other one. And some days I like having just a really It's one of those days. I like having a low smart point lunch so that if I have a higher point dinner, I can accommodate for it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap these up and I'm gonna throw them into my container, and that will be 1 lunch ready to go. Done and done. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to make, hold on, I'm gonna grab another container. I was just gonna throw these in smaller containers, but I think I might just do the same thing that I just did there. So I'm gonna grab 2 lids. And I love these meal prep containers. You can get these on Amazon. They're just regular 1 compartment meal prep containers. So there's my burritos. And this will be a challenge trying to remember which one's which, because I'll think I'm taking one thing, but it'll end up being something else. So I'm gonna grab 2 more of these shells. And I did just drop one on the floor. Toss that in the garbage. All right, so we have 2 of those here. And I have leftover steak fajitas. I made these last week, and they should still be good. I'll eat these tomorrow. So what I thought I would do is throw some of this onto a shell. And this is mostly vegetables. So I'm just gonna eyeball this. I think it's gonna come out to be approximately 3 ounces of meat, because I didn't use a ton of meat when I made these. And we really ate a lot when we made them, because mostly what's coming out is green peppers and onions, which is awesome. All right, see if I can get some more out of here. I'm gonna have to pull some meat off this one and put it on the other one. All right, I think I'm gonna count this for 4 ounces of meat. I think that'll be safe. Whew. That one seems to have a lot on it. We're gonna pull some of that off there. There, that's a little better. All right, give my hands a quick little rinse. We're gonna do the same thing with the cheese. I'm gonna grab a 1/4 cup of that cheese, and we're going to split it between the two. So this lunch will be a little higher in points, so I'll make sure that we're having something lower in points when I have this one tomorrow. So I'll just plan a low point dinner tomorrow, and then we should be fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap these up. And again, throw these right into my container. And now I have 2 lunches done. Done and done. So I'll figure out one more lunch. I know I have some soup in the freezer downstairs. I can always grab that out for another day and then figure out my lunches from there. I know that I'm probably, don't laugh, but I'm probably going to make chicken fajitas this week, and I will try to remember to film that. But I'm going to try to make the chicken fajitas this week, and if I make those chicken fajitas, I'll have those as leftovers, because I think that's only 1 smart point per, per fajita, plus, the wrap. So 2 smart points per fajita, that won't be too bad at all. All right, I think all I have left now to do is the breakfast sandwiches, and anything else I do, if I prep anything else, I'm just going to do that off camera, and I'll just insert a picture at the end so that I can start wrapping things up and getting my night done. So, okay, stay tuned. We'll get that breakfast sandwiches started next.